Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we have an interesting offering from the good folks over at HX Outdoors. This one is the Rock Fluorite. Interesting name. I don't think it will be copied or used by someone else. You know, we've got kind of some of that naming overlap going on, but I mean, it comes in this little, pelican-ish style case. Got a cleaning cloth and everything in there. But the thing that intrigues me the most about this knife is it's a titanium handle, D2 steel, and right now it's selling on their site for $30. Now it was like previously 50, and that's crossed out. It says 30, which from everything that I have done and looked at on this knife, $30 for this knife is a pretty darn good deal. So we're going to start out, like we always do, with our fit and finish. The fit and finish on this knife is really done pretty well. There is one tiny thing, and it's definitely a nitpick. I got this one, and I got another little nitpick. But anyway, everything is chamfered off, even on this milling. It's done very well. You see you have the holes in there, and you can tell that the holes are pretty much just cut, pressed, whatever. They're not sharp or anything like that, but they do lack that chamfering. And, every once in a while when I grab it, I do notice it. It's not sharp. It doesn't hurt. Nothing like that. It's just, it's kind of like with the frame locks. The relief cut on the frame locks. I always check that to see if, and that could probably stand to do a little bit of chamfering. It definitely comes into play when we take a look at how the pocket clip grips, because it's not chamfered on either side. This clip is very grippy. It's got great retention, but coming out of the pocket, I think we're putting some pressure on that hole here, and it makes it a little bit difficult to come out of the pocket. And I think maybe with some chamfering on there, it's still going to be stiff and it's still going to hold on, but I think it might alleviate a little bit of that. You do have a lanyard hole. That seems, that is kind of pressed too. I mean, that's not, again, it's not sharp or anything like that. Just a couple of places that could, okay, maybe that takes this knife from 30 to $35. Big deal, in my opinion. And it's titanium and D2 for $30. That's kind of hard to go wrong, honestly, in my opinion. Now, your backspacer and your liner, of course, are steel. That's where your weight's going to come in. Titanium alloy handle. Everything else about the fit and finish. Flipper tab, you've got some jimping going on there. It's pretty good. No real issue. You got some jimping here, which you will see in the ramp here in a minute. That is done pretty well. Centering, on point. Absolutely. So overall, fit and finish is really pretty darn good. Like I said, a couple of suggestions, but overall, it's pretty good. Now, action jumps out there pretty well. You've got that D2 blade, sort of a drop-ish point there. What do you want to call it? You call it what you want to call it. There's that ramp I was talking about. Really nice landing pad for my thumb. In your regular grip, even in the choked up grip, using that half and half choil there, still feels very, very good in hand. Now, I was kind of concerned about the pocket clip a little bit in the grip, ergonomics. Not an issue. Not an issue at all. Flat ground, D2. There's your number, TD15T. Now, I will also tell you that I found one on Amazon, looked exactly like this. But I noticed on the model number, it was a 14T. And if you look at it, it's got the full, it looks to be potentially a slip joint version. Either that, because it doesn't have a flipper, either that or it's a whole deploy only. I think it's a slip joint because it's got a full, what I'm going to refer to as a back spring on it. I do believe it doesn't say, I didn't notice in the description. I'll leave a link down to it. You guys can check it out as well. But it's titanium D2. It's only $15. So it looks pretty much, that's why it confused me right at first. Because I saw this one on the HX Outdoor, website for $30, and then I always check Amazon. Come on. Sometimes the price is higher, sometimes it's lower. And I saw it, I was like, 15? What's the big difference? Then I really got to looking at it, and it does appear to be a slip joint version. I cannot absolutely 100% verify that, but I'll leave a link. You go take a look, tell me what you think. But overall, I am really, really liking this knife, especially for the price point. So a quick spec check. Comes in right about 7 1/4 inches. You've got about 4 1/4 on the handle. Going to give you 3 1/4-ish, or 4 1/8, sorry, 3 1/8-ish on the blade. Full cutting, your cutting edge is coming in just right at 3. So if you have that 3-inch blade limit wherever you may be, it falls underneath that. Grip length, another reason why I like it, about 3 3/8. Now, obviously, if you go out to that forward choil, it's going to extend that out by almost a full inch. Not quite, but close. Very close to a full inch. So, there you go. In the forward grip, I have a lot left over. In the regular grip, it's pretty much perfect. Exactly how I like a grip a knife. So, very good. It's pretty much bug out size. Very comparable. Absolutely. I'm going to call it bug out sized. And then, of course, you have the PM2, which is going to be larger, as you would expect. Now, the weight, it's got a little bit more weight, but that's because it's got that solid, and it's not bad. Not bad weight. Just a little more because it's got that solid stainless steel backspacer. 3.7, that's not bad. 106 grams. And now in the pocket, like I was telling you. So if we go in the pocket, goes in really nicely. You do have, that pocket clip. I wish the pocket clip was deep carry. That's just me. There again, a little bit of a nitpick. That was the other nitpick I was talking about. You got a little bit more than I like sticking out of my pocket. But, and it just depends on where you're at. Some places, it's not a big deal. Some places, people are like, oh my God, you have a knife in your pocket. Anyway. Now, do you see how it kind of caught there a little bit? And I think that has to do with that sort of that edge. I mean, it's good retention, but it does kind of catch on that lip. And I do believe that has to do with, that hole not being chamfered. Trust me, this pocket clip is not going anywhere. Or this knife in your pocket with that stiff pocket clip, it's not going anywhere. It's not falling out of your pocket. It's there to stay. Overall, the design, absolutely. I really like the design. Ergonomics are fantastic. It feels great no matter what grip I use. It feels very good in hand. The overall fit and finish is really pretty good. My only nitpick, obviously, the holes. Action jumps out there pretty nicely. You've got a decent initial drop. And then a little shake shot. And, yes, I can reverse flick it off the hole, for sure. And then your access to that liner lock is really pretty good. You got some milling, jimping, whatever you want to call it there on the liner. It feels like it might have a little bit of stick sometimes. Nothing major. I could see where some people might think the jimping on there is a little aggressive. I mean, if you're sitting there opening it and closing it a lot, okay, I could get that. But just initially, open it, use it, close it, put it in your pocket, no. I don't think so anyway. I don't think so. For $30, I think it is really, really hard to go wrong with this knife. Absolutely, 100%. I am very happy that HX Outdoors sent this one out to check out. Like I said, I'm also going to throw, this is the rock fluorite 15T. I'm going to throw a link to that down in the comments. I'm also going to throw in a link to what appears to be a slip joint version for $14. Titanium and D2. You know, that sort of modern. Now, like I said, I can't swear it's a slip joint. It doesn't look like it has a flipper. It looks like it's got a full back spacer, back spring, however you want to look at it. It's either a slip joint, double detent, or a hole-only deployment. One of those. That's the best I can figure. But, again, thanks so much to HX Outdoors for sending out the rock fluorite to check out. Thank you guys for swinging by and checking it out with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.